and welcome to the May 2023 Adele AMP. We are so glad that you have joined us today. This month we have an exciting mini seminar. It's entitled Retirement Club Conversations, and it's just that. It's a conversation with two women who are successfully navigating retirement. So, without any further introduction, let me bring on the two ladies who are joining us today. With us today, we have Mrs. Shirley Iheanacho and we have Mrs. Jocelyn Thomas. Welcome, Shirley.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good. And welcome, Jocelyn.
Glad to be here.
Good.
Glad to be retired.
Great. And I'm Susan Baker, your host for today. It's been my privilege to know these two outstanding women for many years. I don't even want to say how many years, because that would be a long time. But I am really looking forward to hearing their insights on successful retirement in our conversation interview today. Shirley and Jocelyn, and I'm going to call Jocelyn Joe because that's what we do call her. It has, I know that a lot of our viewers, our AMP viewers, probably know both of you. But for viewers who may not know you, let's just take a minute for each of you to tell us a little something about yourself, like where you were born, something about your family, maybe something about your working or your professional life. And would you also tell us how long you've been retired?
Okay. Well, first I should say thank you to Doctors Delbert and Susan Baker for this special moment to share a few thoughts about our retired lives. God has been so good and faithful, and I'm eternally grateful. My name is Shirley Iheanacho, the third of 8 children born to Cecil and Myrtle Howell in the Paradise Island of Barbados. My husband is Morris Iheanacho, and we've been married for 53 years. We met at Andrews University where we were both students there. He was a graduate student, I was an undergraduate, and we are the parents of 3 lovely daughters and 2 handsome grandsons. My husband served as a catalog librarian at Oakwood University for 27 years. I worked in the president's office for 20 years and then in the office of the provost and senior vice president for a little over 5 years. We've been retired July 2023 will be 16 years since we've been retired. And that's a long time, and it has been an interesting journey.
Well, 16 years. So that makes you a retirement expert. Good. Okay, Joe, what about you? Tell us a little something about your interesting life.
Well, I've had a fun life. Ever since I was born to 2 wonderful people, Bernice and David Reed. He was a minister, and my dad was a lot of fun. My mom always said she had 3 children, my brother, my father, and myself. So we had a lot of fun together as a family. My brother and I were involved in my dad's work, where whatever he had to do, we were all there working with him. We played, we enjoyed. When they retired next door to my house. So that was also a lot of fun. I married Claude Thomas Jr. He had 3 young children. So I married a man and 3 children and gave birth to 2 more. So my professional life was a professional homemaker. And it got to the point when they were all in church school here at Oakwood College, Oakwood Academy at the time. And to keep them in church school took money. So my husband said, Joe, please go to work. I love being at home, working at home, but I had to go to work to help keep the children in church school. So that was that part of my life. We've done a lot of fun things together. I love being a child of God. It's just exciting. I'm looking forward to the Lord coming. I have just positive thoughts about all of that. So my husband died in January last year, 22nd of January. My buddy, my partner, but I'll see him again. So I'm very relaxed about that. God gave him to me and he let him sleep, so he's in charge. And I feel very good about that.
Yes, excellent.
And the children are taking excellent care of me. I couldn't
Excellent.
ask for better.
Excellent. Excellent. And thank you, Joe, for sharing that at the beginning of our conversation. Because we do have a lot of viewers who are probably making their retirement journey on their own right now.
I
So thank you so much for bringing that perspective. And we know that that makes you who you are. And we thank you for sharing that. Let's start the conversation with something that a lot of people want to know. And that is, what do you think is the biggest advantage of being retired? One of you said you love retirement, and both of you look like you're thriving in retirement. So, what's one thing that you love about retirement?
I'll start. I now I'm going to University of Alabama Fitness Center 3 days a week doing water aerobics. That is one of the most exciting things in my life. It keeps my body young. I can wake up when I want to. I can go to bed when I want to, and I'm pretty well structured in my life. I drink a quart of water with lemon, fresh lemon, every morning around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and then that's when I spend my time with the Lord, and that is most gorgeous because I'm in the house by myself. I can talk out loud and say Hallelujah, praise the Lord, and I do that. I'm excited about that. So if I had to go to work, I wouldn't be able to do that. So I'm able to be home, and I appreciate that very much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Shirley, how about you?
Well, retirement allows us the opportunity to travel nationally and internationally. And we have been involved in some outreach ministries. We started to go to nursing homes. There were 3 nursing homes that we visited weekly. We sang and prayed and chatted with the people. And then we went on Maranatha international volunteer trips to Mozambique and Ghana and Panama. And we had an opportunity I led out in some of the vacation Bible schools and helped with the building. Morris helped with the building of the schools and the churches. So that was quite fun, meeting people and seeing the poverty around the world and realizing how blessed we are here in the United States. Yeah.
Amen. Amen. Okay. So those are good things about being retired. And both of you bring out things that I think people really, very much associate with the retirement years, the opportunity to be involved with things that you you didn't have the time to do when you were working. But let's just pause for a minute to talk about any downside to being retired, maybe something that you weren't quite prepared for when you thought about retirement and now you recognize is a reality of retirement. Do either of you have anything like that? Any downside?
Well, for me, the downside is that I didn't plan for old age. And with retirement, there's a decline in health, and you have aches and pains that you didn't have before. But the blessings of retirement far outweigh the disabilities or the hardships that you may encounter. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I don't know that I have any negatives because I was a professional homemaker and I enjoyed my work being at home. So going out to work was the negative for me. I had to go so that my children could stay in church school. But I was glad to get back home. I put it that way. Yeah.
Both of you have really meaningful and purpose driven retirements. I know both of you to be Christian women and believe in living the mission that God designed you for. So tell us a little bit about a typical day in your life, in your retired life. Maybe there are some hobbies or projects, something that gives you joy?
Well, I have, I'm involved in different ministries, three different ministries where sometimes I'm asked to speak. But every morning, my friend, at 5 o'clock, we meet and we listen to the Bible readings and Spirit of Prophecy readings. And then later on, my prayer partner, and about 9 or so, she joins me and via online, and we share study time together. One of the things that I enjoy doing is writing. So I do a lot of writing, and I am blessed that 80 of my devotional articles have been published in different books and magazines. So I continue to write, and I also like to encourage women to write. And that has brought me a lot of joy because 38 women, there's 70 articles have been published, written by 38 women. And the joy that they receive when they see their name in the book. One lady cried. She said, "Mrs. I didn't even know I could write. You told me to write, write, write." And I would edit and send some of them into the General Conference Women's Ministries Department. And so I twice a month, I serve as the facilitator on a prayer line. And so then I have a phone and text ministry where I reach out to some of my friends, colleagues, and to keep in touch and let them know that I'm thinking about them and that they still matter.
All right. All right. All right. Sounds like you're pretty busy.
Yes.
Definitely. Joe, you've already
You have to
told
know,
us.
you have to know Shirley. She's a mover. Shirley moves.
That's right. Joe, you told us that you're really liking water aerobics, which really sounds great to me. Tell us what else you're doing that gives you joy.
Well, I enjoy my telephone. I visit people via the phone if I don't, because since the COVID, in church we didn't see each other. And when we did start back to church, our faces were covered. So you really didn't always know who was there or who wasn't there because you couldn't really see them. So I use the telephone to keep in touch with friends and church members and to encourage them. That's one of the things that I enjoy. My husband and I, when we were active, we were involved in family life ministry. And one of the things that I found encouraging, I have different women that will call me and ask me to help them through certain situations. And I'm able to look back and bounce back on those experiences that I had with Claude and be of help to them. And I'm very grateful for that opportunity because married life, God style, is just wonderful. It's a beautiful experience if you can just get on track. And it is an experience, and it's a learning experience. So I'm happy to share. I was married to Claude for 56 wonderful years, 56 years and 3 months. So I have a little bit. I have a little bit that I can share.
A little bit to share for sure.
Yeah.
Lot bit to share. And I really like what both of you are saying. You're saying that you've taken the experience from your working life, your family life, your life before retirement, and you've integrated that into the things that give you joy in your retirement. And I think that's a beautiful concept. It's not like retirement has to be a total reset, a start over, but it can really be a time when you have a continuation, more time to continue the things that you've really worked on and that you love. And I really like that perspective. Now, both of you know I'm a healthcare professional and I'm a physical therapist. I'm always interested in ways that people find to live healthy lives. So I'm going to ask both of you, do you have any tips for us retirees and people who are pre-retirement, ways that they can have successful health in their retirement?
Well, I would begin by saying I went to my doctor's appointment one time recently, and the nurse practitioner was reading the results of my blood work. And when she looked at it, she turned around and said to me, "Are you a Seventh-day Adventist?" I said, "Yes, I am." I said, "Why did you ask?" She said, you have a perfect blood. Your blood panel is perfect." I said, "What?" She said, "Yes." And just from looking at my blood panel, she was able to determine my life's health work. So I'm appreciative of that. My goal is to do with my body as God said I should. I choose to eat. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I eat vegetables. I don't eat dairy. I'm a vegan. I'm a vegan meal eater. And I find that in the morning, my habit is to eat plenty of fruit. I eat nothing but fruit. Then I go to my water aerobics. When I come back later on in the day around 1 o'clock, I will have my dinner meal, which will have always a large raw salad with various raw vegetables in there and so forth and so on, vegetables. And I discovered that a potato is a very good product to eat. Potatoes has protein. It's a perfect food. And there's so many things that you learn. I get books to read about the different food items I'm eating. So that's another thing that interests me. Drinking water, as I mentioned before, I get up in the morning, I drink a quart of warm water with a fresh whole lemon, and I put a little honey in there. And that your evacuation is just perfect. It just washes you out. No, these are things that are normal and natural.
These are things that are important to talk about.
Yes, it is, because a lot of people are having a hard time. They're stopped up. And if you keep your gut clean, your brain will be clean.
I love it. Okay, that's good. Keep your gut clean, your brain will be
Life will be clean. So I just thank the Lord for his health message, and I'm choosing to purposefully do what he says. And I find that it really works. It keeps my body young and keeps me moving.
Yes, we see evidence. Shirley, how about you?
That also there's fun-fixing, nutritious meals, trying new recipes. You can go online and find all kind of interesting vegan recipes. They're marvelous.
All right. That's cool. Shirley, how about you? Health tip?
In addition to some of the things that Joe mentioned, I walk and exercise, and I try to keep active. I work outside sometimes of pulling the grass from the garden, so I get some sunlight, and I try to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Of course, there are the aches and pains that come with 82 years of age. And so, but other than that, I enjoy a good, healthy lifestyle.
Yes, good. And I hear both of you saying that it's important that it's a whole lifestyle.
Yeah,
right.
Not one thing or two things, but a holistic lifestyle. Since we're talking about health and we're talking about the impact of the church and, all of us wanting to present our bodies a living sacrifice, tell us a little bit about the impact of the Bible and prayer and church life on retirement.
I don't think retirement had anything to do with it as far as I'm concerned. When I was working, I was consistent. Retirement, I'm still consistent with the Lord. He is my friend. He's my provider. I'm looking forward to spending eternity with him. And he promised me that he would save me and my children. In Isaiah 49, I read those verses beginning with the latter part of verse 25, I think it is, to the end. I just trust him. And I say, I don't look at the children. I said, Lord, this is what you said. And so that gives me a peace of mind that I know that the Lord is taking care and providing. He has safety for salvation for my children. And I'm looking for it. That gives me a good feeling. And I get to enjoy him in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning when the world is quiet. And it's just God and me. And that's delicious for me. That's just delicious. His word is so precious.
Yes,
So
I love that. So you're saying it's kind of like Elijah. You just have a continuation of the
Yes.
relationship, just on
Right. Before I was working and after, I'm just continue right on. And then eternity, I'll be
and then,
with him.
yeah, just
Yeah.
walk right into that
Right
next
on
step.
in. Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Shirley, I know the church, I know prayer, Bible study means a lot to you also. Share with us a little bit.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I'm involved in different ministries where I'm asked to speak. And also, I meet daily with my prayer partner, and we share fun times together. And I like to encourage young people. Before the COVID invasion, I was more on campus at church, and I see young people, and I like to encourage them. Uh, I do still continue to read my Bible daily because that's an integral part of living as a Christian, that to keep in that communication and that contact daily with God. And I try to inspire people on the journey. Life may be difficult at times, but God works everything out for our good. And sometimes what we see as a roadblock, he can turn that roadblock into a living stream. And it's a joy to be a Christian. It's a joy to be a Christian.
Yes. Beautiful. Beautifully said, both of you. Finally, and this conversation has just been too short. We should have 3 times as long. But finally, as a way to share your final thoughts on this retirement phase that both of you have just so beautifully articulated, it's kind of popular these days for people to say, if you could tell your younger self something, what would it be? But I just wonder if you could give your 40-year-old self or your 50-year-old self some advice on how to successfully prepare for retirement, what would you say?
Go ahead, Shirley.
Okay. Well, I didn't think of retirement when I was young. I was having fun. And but one of the things that I think younger people should prepare for in advance, have a sound financial plan and an adequate life insurance, and and prepare a will and have it notarized, because it doesn't mean if you prepare a will that you're going to die any sooner. But things can happen so unexpectedly. Life consists of swift transitions at times. And also prepare a living will and inform your family members of where they can find the important documents. I have a friend whose husband passed, and she was so burdened because she said he didn't have a will, and she had to go to probate court. She couldn't find the documents. So these are things that you have to plan in advance so that it will be less stressful for the survivors. And try to save your money and pay off your mortgage before you retire. That's a burden that you don't have to worry about. And then try to create a plan to downsize. Don't wait until you're old like I am to downsize, because you don't have the energy and you don't have the interest. And be careful of the stuff that you accumulate over the years. They probably were meaningful then, but in your old age, you don't care for them. You just want to be able to be in good health, you know. And so take good care of your health. And as I said earlier, um, the exercise and be active, and help people, reach back and help people. And you,
Yeah.
these are the things that you can do to help improve your life and to prepare for the senior stage of your life.
Well, I will join Shirley. One of the things that she said was downsize. I told my children, I'm just going to enjoy whatever I have. And when I'm gone, you can just drive a truck up and just load the truck up and take it down to Goodwill, whichever you want to do with it. But enjoy what you have. I'm not trying to acquire anything God has given me 5 wonderful children. They take excellent care of me. But you said something very important, Shirley. Work out your will, get your documents together, know who's going to take over your bank account, who's managing it for you. All that business needs to be conducted, because when you die, you don't know anything.
No.
But those who remain are stuck with what to do and how to the legal ramifications that go with all of that is very important. So
Yeah.
you really made a very important statement there, and I'm working on that now while I am still living. What else did you say, Susan? Advice for when?
Yeah, just advice for your 50-year-old self.
Well, I'm 87 years old on my birthday, so I feel good. I'm happy. I enjoy the fact that God gave me a good family when I was a youngster. That was a blessing. That's a gift. And that gift I was able to use, and I'm still using, to help other families. And God gives us gifts to share, and it's a pleasure for me to share the good and the bad, um, so that they will learn life is not perfect here. And I was at a funeral of my dear friend recently, and I was speaking to the husband. I called his name. I said, "Well, it's your turn now. We're all going to have a turn going to a funeral of a loved one or your spouse." I remember when before my husband died, I was attending a funeral. I said, one day I'll be attending the funeral, and I'll be looking at my spouse, having gone to sleep in Jesus. So these things are real. When Adam sinned, God said, God pleaded with Adam, don't disobey Adam, because if you do, you're going to die. So he did disobey, and we are dying. But I'm looking forward to meeting Jesus in the earth made new.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Life can be what you want to make it, Susan.
Yeah.
Life can be, even with the downs, you got God with you.
That's
You can
right.
through the hard times and the good times.
Good.
Because we can look forward to the best of times eternally with Jesus Christ.
Good, good. And I love what you're saying. We can choose how we
Yes.
relate to the circumstances in life.
Exactly.
We can't always choose the circumstances, but we know
Right.
God is with us. We know He allows the circumstances of our life to happen, and we can choose to be joyful even in the midst of circumstances that may not be so happy for the time being, but we can choose.
Yeah. And Dr. Baker, to follow up on what Joe just said, and then what you just said, that we can choose. We have a choice. We can choose to be happy. And I would say, don't worry, be happy, be thankful, be forgiving, and laugh a lot.
Right.
Immensely. And it's cheap. You don't have to pay a penny for it.
Great. I love it. I love it. And with that and the beautiful smiles of our 2 guests today, 2 beautiful women, thank you so much, Jocelyn and Shirley, for sharing your life and your wisdom with us. You've done this over the years, and in your retirement, you continue to share yourselves. And we are so blessed by the lives that you have lived, by the lives that your family has lived, the lives that you live with your husbands. We are so blessed by your life and the role model for successful retirement that we have from both of you now. So we want to thank you. We love you. Thank you so much. We also want to thank RCRP and the ADEL programmers for bringing us these monthly amps and for their commitment to the retiree community and to quality life for retirees. So thank you so much, and goodbye for now.
And just say one word, Susan, may I just say we thank God for you.
Yes.
You and your husband.
Yes.
You are beautiful people, and we enjoy being retired looking at you.
Love, lots of love. Thank you both.